Hello, welcome back. Northstar here with another Alpha Centauri Let's Play. Hope you folks are well, enjoying the videos. Apologize with my long COVID. I don't think as quickly as I used to. It's a terrible disability and one that the government would rather I don't exist. It screwed me out of SSDI, so Security Disability Insurance, because one of the jobs that I worked before I got disabled was for a university. Well, I was a graduate student there, and so it's not payroll tax eligible, and therefore it doesn't contribute, and thus that landed me just a couple work credits shy when I wouldn't have been with that job counting of the number I need for disability. I spent a lot of time in grad school, and I actually went back to grad school later because my first grad degree shut down while I was in it. Wasn't getting me where I needed to be. I was trying to become a physician, so I went to a special master's program to go all in on that because it was close. I had gotten lots of clinical hours working as CMT and such. All I just needed was something to make up for my undergrad grades not being high enough in my first master's, which is more research focused and not many classes, not giving me the chance to get enough research credentials to make up for it because the program is shutting down and research opportunities were scarce than they should have been. And I found a great lab at that program, but then it ran out of money and shut down. It was terrible luck. Without a bunch of publications in my name, I only have one publication in my name. Which you need a bunch of research publications in a situation of mine to have been eligible for med school, so didn't take you seriously. So I went to special masters, got straight 4.0s, was definitely going to make it to med school because it was a particularly difficult, prestigious special masters where pretty much everyone who got grades like that always got into med school. It was almost a sure thing. And then the worst imaginable, outcome happened. COVID came. Well, not the worst. I could have died from COVID, but I got COVID. Got disabled by it. Actually, I got COVID twice, and the second time I got it, I was disabled because you can get COVID more than once. Trust me, my first master's, I actually ended up studying viruses after my first lab. Ran out of money and had to move into a virus lab, which I got along terribly with the professor who ran it. He was a jerk. Not like the first lab where I got along great with the professor. He did not support me adequately. I wasn't able to get a research publication from it because he wouldn't let me run key experiments the guy was working for because they were too expensive. It's like, I'm giving you free labor. You can let me. Anyways, being a master's student, though, and knowing I wasn't going to be around for long, he wasn't going to invest in me. PhD, it would have been treated better. Yeah, I had professors. I had a professor who was also my academic advisor for my special masters. He said I was one of the most brilliant students he had ever had. I definitely had the brains to be a physician, but I got screwed. And the character I'm playing is now Previn Law. This wasn't entirely just tangent, although it was a little bit. He was the ship's surgeon on the Unity, so it's kind of a I can identify with him in some ways. He's also a humanitarian. I am a democratic socialist. I believe strongly capitalism will never lead to respect for civil rights and such. Law, I think, tends more towards liberalism, democracy with free market instead of democracy with planned, which would be democratic socialism. So, but I'm going to run democracy planned, although a little bit of that strategy here. Very early on, democracy planned golden ages, selective bases will allow me to boom populations. Very good. But then there's a phase where I'd want to be running free market to tech up more quickly and then rotate back to planned because supply crawlers are better with planned. At that point, you're going to start getting enough minerals. You're going to deal with eco damage. Free market is terrible for environmental damage. Planned is better. It does less damage. And supply crawlers can bring in minerals, energy, to your bases Free market's main thing is the gimmick of getting +1 energy for tiles your citizens work. Supply cars do not benefit from that at all. Um, you mainly want, I forget if it helps the supply cars running a solar panel, but you don't want the supply cars bringing minerals and the industry buffs from planned, plus the reduced ecological damage, make free market inferior choice. Also, -5 police is another thing. So planned is better once you have a ton of supply cars, and it's better in the very early game for the growth. So there's only a middle phase where free market can be the stronger system. Players don't realize this because a lot of players do not understand the supply car economy, which changes a ton of things. For one, you produce different resources, use your citizens differently. Instead of having your citizens farm on tiles, often with solar collectors, you have supply cars run condenser farms, just maximizing food output because they can only collect one resource type from a tile, and you can only have one supply car work a tile. And then you run specialists instead of workers. That's if a tile's in the big fat cross of a city. You may have tiles that can't be worked by workers because they're too far from bases, but you probably want lots of bases, so you have lots of population capacity, so you bring lots of food and have lots of specialists. And specialists, you don't need to invest in psych to keep happy. They're always considered content, so not happy like talents, not unhappy like drones. Um, and you can run a mix of doctors to have your remaining workers golden age for a while, as say the UN especially. And then when you just get too much of a preponderance of specialists, hopefully by then you have a children's creche and you can still boom with planned democracy, children's creche. Um, you don't, and eventually cloning bats will help too. You don't need to boom all your settlements, but some of them, and then those can produce lots of colony pods to go out to other bases, and those can be the bases that get really big, and you direct a lot of food towards for your supply cars. The bases that have children's creches and can boom once golden ages aren't really feasible due to having all the workers have become specialists, or at least enough of them that you can't golden age, because you need more talents than workers specialists, and you can't have any drones to run a golden age in a base. So like World Health Organization, we need 2 talents, and then the other 2 pops have to be either workers or specialists. Which, for instance, this would do it, except for the fact that I have that drone with a recreation commons. And actually, I could have a golden age right now in World Health Organization. This would be eligible for a golden age. However, it's not worth it until I'm running democracy planned. Then I can boom. Human Genome Project can also help a little, as do the free drone or peacekeeper bonuses, particularly with getting golden ages. In my experience, it's better to eliminate drones than to get talents, because sometimes you have a situation otherwise you have like 3 talents, 1 worker, and a drone. Or let's say 3. Let's say 5 talents and a worker and a drone. You'd be better off with 4 talents and 2 workers. The free drone bonuses are better than the peacekeeper, especially because they get an industry bonus, which acts kind of multiplicatively. It's +2 industry is a lot better than +1. It's more than twice as good. Because you're reducing something from row being 9 to row being 8. It's effectively a 1/8 increase in your industry instead of a 1/9. Free drones do really great with this, but they're not in the base game, only in the expansion. I really like them, especially because of the way that they naturally tend towards socialism, which can be done as peacekeepers. In the base game, they're probably the best faction to do this with, but players always think, oh, let's run free market green. The green is mostly to counteract the eco damage of free market, and free market not that good because supply cars are awesome and people just don't build enough supply cars. That's the thing. It's a big investment, but what, you're afraid of the AI? Maybe not in a competitive multiplayer match where you can bet people would build an enormous army and you would never get to the point you could have enough supply cores. Or if you start to build enough, people can see your threat and they team up on you, even though you just took an alternate strategy to their heavy focus on militarism. But, you know, people always treat multiplayer games like everyone hates each other and war is inevitable. There's never any real diplomacy. Whereas, you know, part of the point of this game is war is not inevitable. Diplomacy exists in Civ type games. I hate that it's not even allowed in multiplayer games usually, and it's never authentic. Or people demand enormous like amounts of tribute to not plan on attacking you. Anyways, let's remove this fungus. Try and get a colony pod here. Nope, got stuck in UN civil rights. Because I'm going to do monitoring agency first. Hydrology council can't work. There's already a 2 nutrient tile that can be worked, so this will be better in the long run, but I'll need to improve tiles for it to work at its best. Want this damaged scout to go to civil rights so it can heal fully. If I remember correctly, units can't heal fully unless they're in a base. Now that this base is guarded by a scout patrol, don't really need the Uni Rover here. Should also probably try and get this alien artifact up to Planetary Trust to make sure I get the weather paradigm, because I probably won't get it on time with just one alien artifact if the AIs are trying to get this at this difficulty. And, you know, I want the base to move on to other things, yeah, like more formers. It's definitely terraforming to do there. Wait, who's working forest? That might just actually be the best thing for Defense Command to do, too. Yeah, it is. But not that forest. This one. So that Planetary Trust can work that forest when it grows. I don't want to work this tile for extra food. And I guess I'd rather have a nutrient than a energy, actually. Oh, Maritime Command could work that, too. Just have to check Planetary Trust in a couple turns. I think they'll try and work the stupid forest when I really want them to grow instead. Guess it could help with getting the weather paradigm sooner, though. Maybe I shouldn't override it. A lot of moving pieces all at once here. So scout patrol there. Got I should probably
mineral resources.
Ooh. Nice. Those were already there, right? See? But some minerals on the coast here. I definitely want to extend my borders to get this area now. Base in range. Probably actually want to sell aggressively near this monolith, and then also here. Here, maybe. Let's see. Try and grab what I can tonight. The Spartans. And hopefully I can keep peaceful enough. Although I'll need Recon Rovers and eventually impact infantry, which are infantry with 4 attack weapons. They cost the same as the Recon Rover, whereas putting impact rovers cost 3 rows instead of 2, if I remember correctly. Not mine to spend on the mobility of impact rovers, extra minerals at this point, but yeah, it's just impact infantry to raise my might score so Spartans won't think they can tap me, which they very much will think they can tap me right now if I don't get some Recon Rovers out soon. Well, estimate they can win, and they're probably not wrong. These scout patrols don't do much to raise my might rating at all. That said, I need them for Mindworms for the meantime. I do not want these to be designated defenders, the rovers. Very much. They're no longer designated primary defender. Because I would like the scout patrol to be the one that guards the base. It's cheaper to replace. Mobility is an advantage. I should treasure and keep around where I can. So rovers offensively instead. I do need to worry about Mindworms attacking you in defense command. So, I guess the nearest unit is this unit rover. Move alongside this scout patrol.
Terraform complete.
No more fungus there. Oh, yeah, let's reassign citizen now. Nutrients instead of minerals. There we go. Making the scout patrol designated defender, even though it's weaker than the Uni Rover. Because the Uni Rover is upkeep free, so it's I'd rather scout patrol and do the fence. I can afford to lose a unit here anyhow. There we go. Made sure the Scout Patrol is the primary defender of that base. Got this Uni Rover right here, but rather pull it back and use defend my bases where it's a little safer. I should do is send the Scout Rover out. Maybe I find another colony at Unipod out that way. Cool. Health organization is working at mine. Good, only 7 turns till the Human Genome Project. Bleats. HQ is working this mine, and yep, fun stuff. Rolling rainy monolith. Flat rainy. I might want a road here so they can just quickly get the former all the way over here where there's stuff to do. Farm mine here, tearing this up. Take 2 turns to get as far as well. Authorization, I could go 1, 2, and then 1/3, 2/3, 3. So 3 turns there. 1, 2. 3 versus 1, 2. Yeah, would slow it down, I suppose, but I do need more farm mines here. Plus, roads do contribute to ecological damage. Oh, there's 2 of them. Yeah, one of them could do the road, and the other could go next turn. Get the same distance. This flat rainy tile is probably going to eventually be home to a condenser once I get the weather paradigm. That'll make this tile here rainy, and then I can do farm mine for minerals. Condensers that aren't being worked, it's also worth noting, produce less ecological damage. So until I get lift the food cap. Alright, on this one, sorry, moved. Interesting. Alternatively, I could raise the elevation on this tile. That might be actually better. Then I can make it a 2 food, 2 energy with a solar panel. Maybe raise this tile to land, heading to exploitable terrain. Might be good. Provide room for a base that's on land. That's probably a smarter idea. Anyways, that'll be later. Need the weather paradigm. Am I doing 25 minutes? Save. I'm getting tired. This is almost certainly the last video I do today. To explain my strategy, well, long-term economic strategy, I may have to fight the Spartans first, and I definitely need a military build-up even just to keep them from attacking me before I'm ready. At least a mild. Some Recon Rovers very soon. Disciplined unit, green unit. Yeah, I should probably get this up to the monolith. Green units are just far too vulnerable to mindworms. And heck, there's exploration to do up along the coast after I visit the monolith. Scout Patrol can also go to Defense Command in a single turn if it's needed, such as mindworms pop at me here. They wouldn't be able to reach Defense Command one turn, but they could go in the tiles in between. Right. Probably do a Recon Rover at Defense Command after this next colony pod. The colony pod will be up here on the coast, so I can eventually work the energy resource. Put a tidal harness on it, because energy resource tiles aren't capped in energy, and a kelp farm. And tiles with split production like that are good to work with workers instead of supply cars, which you can build aquatic versions too, but and they're actually great for working. Just kelp farms are out of range of cities. Once you run out of land tiles, do that kind of thing with. Though tidal harnesses are so useful. Once your energy is uncapped, you want to work those probably for a while before you mess with supply cars. Plus, mining platforms at sea are also good. They give eventually +2 mineral output. First, just +1. And reduce nutrients by 1, but really that turns to 2 nutrient, 1 mineral tile. Because it reduces, kelp farms from 3 to 1. Oh, of course, saltwater kelp farms. There's also freshwater sea, which on this map is here. That has a +1 nutrient. You can actually expand it by lowering tiles into the water, as long as you keep the freshwater sea from touching any salt water. And you can actually expand land out and then expand sea. You could actually theoretically turn a whole map into freshwater sea if you wanted. Although that'd be an enormous investment. Not so worth it on this map. But if you do a random map, there could be ways that could be useful. Looks like this Scout Patrol probably needs to stay put. No? Wait. any Mindworm attacks be from here. And this prevent collateral damage to the former if something comes in.
Turn complete.
Should get that unit healed soon, but next turn the former move here, move the scout patrol there, I suppose, and then swap them the turn after and finally heal that unit. I don't mind Defense Command using a scout patrol supporting. So I'll have a calling pod for a little bit and then the Recon Rover. I don't know. I need to start spamming Recon Rovers and they are expensive. So I need the minerals here. This Maritime Command take a little longer to build up, and they'll probably eventually do impact infantry here. It fits with, mountains you don't use rovers in. By the time I'm ready to start spamming it from here, there aren't scout patrols. Probably have the tech for impact infantry.
Insufficient energy.
It's going to be cheaper. Should keep an eye on planetary trust. This is going to grow soon. All right. Force built. What's worth? It's a 1/2/2 tile. Yeah, I suppose that'll be what planetary trust will have to work. There are no two. Well, there is this, but one energy and two minerals instead of nutrient. And minerals into a secret project that I have a very good chance of getting. It's probably better. Probably. Alright. Defense command is gradually growing. Could use more minerals to get that Recon Rover and dissuade a Spartan attack, hopefully. Let's get working on a farm. No. World Health Organization. Do the Human Genome Project. Really needs to catch up with colony pods. Lots of colony pods. eventually this will be well positioned to build my first sea formers and sea colony pods. What a. Plus it can actually get very tall. When it grows next, I don't have a good tile for it to work. Yeah. Let's just get working on clearing the fungus here. Because of the risk of mindworms. Yeah. Right in. Nice. I'll go there if it can. Failed. To help defend the unit rover in case of surprise attacks. But yeah, I can stick the unit rover in defense command. It can attack mindworms instead of defending against them. Alright. Oh, the rude.
Terraform complete. I'm being overambitious. Maybe I just built a thermal bore hole in this flat tile. Yeah, because I need minerals. Once I have the weather paradigm. Spartans are a real threat. I gotta remember that. We'll see. Raise tile or a borehole or something. I'll figure something out. Ta-da. Hmm.
gonna slow walk? No, it's fine. The risk of this getting attacked is tiny. Hmm. Frick. Shouldn't leave this base undefended. Nor the alien artifact. Is it, do I need to? Oh, I do need to defend this tile because of stuff here. Risk. It's only that one tile that could. Some armor comes out here or something. Let's put this on alert for a turn. Alright then. Keep an eye out for mindworms. Mindworm.
Turn complete.
Not now in the open, at least. Bring this uni rover home.
Turn complete.
Forest costs 2 to move into. Does slow movement of rovers, unfortunately. Trying to move into with a rover. It's a 50% chance. Gets stuck on this open tile. Oh well.
Insufficient energy.
I could next turn a colony at defense command. Interesting. Because the partial would be just enough to, if I'm not mistaken, have it done next turn.
Insufficient energy.
Well, this is World Health Organ instead of organization. I didn't realize it was shortened like this. Guess that works. 45 minutes. Got a moment.
Turn complete.
Just to mark what I'm going to be doing there. Building a road. Proceeding south after that. What? I should make this sure this is the defender at least of these units.
Turn complete.
There we go. Want to lose the colony pod instead of a rover. Yeah, the monitoring agency gets defensive bonuses from this sensor array. It's worth noting. Kind of fits thematically.
Insufficient energy.
I'll save in case I'm wrong about this, but
Insufficient
it
energy.
should be, yep, 3 minerals shy. That's what I thought. Exactly. 3. No. Actually, I miscalculated.
Turn complete.
Because the last ones are cheapest, I
Insufficient energy.
should only need to spend 50 energy for that. No? I was wrong.
Turn complete.
Darn it. Fine, all 51.
Insufficient energy.
Want to get that Recon Rover done nice and early. More than I'm not prepared for can be immensely costful. And immensely costly. In fact, if you guys read the forest expands. Oh, increased
Production
wildlife
complete.
activity. That's not good. One good thing, one bad thing. The forests expand under that sensor array. To know it doesn't block passive forest growth. It's actually closer to planetary trust than defense command, but whatever. Another tile, planetary trust can work when it grows. Get that weather paradigm done. So yeah, if you guys read the books that were based, actually it seems they were based around the single player scenarios. The first being Spartans versus Peacekeepers, second Morganites versus Skyans, and third University versus Believers. But anyways, if you read the books, I don't know, maybe the scenarios are created after the books, or maybe books are inspired by the scenarios. Yeah, because this game comes with scenarios that I don't think anyone ever plays. Anyways, the Peacekeepers, they get into an early war with the Spartans. They don't get destroyed, but it ends up as a kind of stalemate, but the peacekeepers getting beat up pretty badly before they fight the Spartans to a stalemate, and so Law is kind of a broken shell of a man because he actually loses his son in the war. Um, Spoiler, I don't know, maybe you read the books, and I doubt many people will, even though they're free online, I believe, or you can find them at an Internet Archive for free anyhow. But yeah, regardless of whether that's just trying to create a story for a faction getting hit hard and badly damaged by an early war, or it's just the guy who wrote the book thought it'd be interesting, good storytelling. Place that on alert. That there, boom. And start building a farm so we can build mine without hurting nutrient production. It is a reminder in this game. Early wars, even if you win them or stalemate it, can really hurt your snowball and make you never a serious contender for winning the game in the long run if it's all balanced with the difficulty you chose being appropriate for your skill level. And if you can beat the highest skill difficulty no sweat without stressing yourself or going too in the micro, and even with automating some bases, you should probably do a mod like the Thinker mod, which makes the game a little harder. It means you probably want to play in a lower difficulty than you would in the base game because it makes the AI a lot smarter. Anyways, I could probably stop the Spartans from destroying me by panic building military units if they go to war and I wasn't expecting it, but I would probably lose some bases. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if Spartans obliterate bases, and size 1-1 bases that get captured, I think, just get destroyed anyways. I might lose some bases. I'd probably lose a lot of civilian units, and I would cripple my economic growth. Panic building military units, and sometimes directing workers to work higher mineral tiles. Even when nutrients would be better in the long run, kind of thing. You get the idea. Or higher energy, even to rush things if I'm really desperate instead of nutrients. Like in a really desperate situation, I could do, oh, well, yeah, that sometimes. So I'd have energy to rush units in certain places. Or that instead of, I don't know, instead of that. The bottom line of it all is I don't want the Spartans to attack me until I'm ready for them to attack me. So this Recon Rover is kind of a bit of insurance against that. And honestly, I should probably do more. I'm already taking a risk. My military is much weaker than it should be. And that it should be so strong that, I'm not about to lose a lot of units if I'm attacked.
Terraform complete.
Getting this Uni Rover Defense Command. Then it can go here. What was I going to call this? Maritime Command or... It's Maritime or Maritime. Is there an M or an N? There's actually the Maritime Maritime Command. It does reference that eventually I might be using this base to support some naval units. They might produce a defense command, but they have 4 movements, so they can swing through here and still get wherever they're going without really getting off track. I'm saying units around here to actually be based in World Health Organization in terms of like where they sail out of. Perhaps if I'm worried about Spartan ships coming along the coast. The AI doesn't do that very often, or if I want to keep ships more likely here, and if war ends up with the Spartans, try and attack their coastline. All ships have the ability to do artillery bombardment by default, if I remember correctly. So yeah, can do little bombardment of their bases or enhancements to like destroy farms with our bombardment, or transport foils and launch kind of some marine commandos, come in, destroy improvements, and then retreat back into the sea to win a kind of a war of attrition. I doubt it will be so much stronger than the Spartans that can just outright take their bases. I'll have to wear them down. But I want it to be them wearing them down with the upper hand, not them wearing them down in terms of first having to defend my bases and then, yeah. Store the alien artifact in World Health Organization, and that's not because I'm not going to use it on the secret project, just because it's a safe location. Need a unit there anyways to attack any mindworms come out of the fungus unexpectedly. I can see them with the sensor array, but I don't think that stops spawning. With the Perihelion currently going on, there's increased chance of mindworms coming out of the xenofungus right now. So I'll need a unit here, scout patrol, defending the base. Whoa. Oh no, I could have had done a little terraforming work on here. Like start to build a farm, but it would have delayed getting here and doing something actually useful. So no. That flat rate tile can just remain idle for now. I need minerals. Minerals, minerals, minerals. So farm mine combos and nutrients to grow populations so that I can work more mines and such. World Health Organization will actually be in the Golden Age once the Human Genome Project is complete until they grow. Nice. Because there's police being... The Scout Patrol acts as police for the base. I think eco damage is accentuated during Perihelion, so I might actually get enough minerals here to start doing a little eco damage for a little while, or have a low probability of doing some. Getting an early xenofungal bloom wouldn't be great, but whatever. Alright. Scout out here for Mindworms in the open. I don't see any. That's good. Send the colony pod. Should probably defend the base over the formers, though, here. One reason to defend this base is I don't want Mindworms to potentially slow getting the Seeker project. Now there is with this very high mineral production. I might do a command center here. I probably want rec commons. The pop grows too much. So that I don't have to work daughters and can instead bring in minerals. That's smarter, and nutrients. Recreation commons next. Maybe a command center after that. Get a high, this base become a major production powerhouse to try out military units because I need more of them. Support a bunch of them. Alright.
Turn complete.
Nice. Didn't fail to move into the forest. See any rover can make its way to these formers and then to silver rights with the scout patrol defending the formers, which are a little more exposed. Yep, can't build that base yet. Alright, let's save. Boom. Humane base, nope. Maritime Command. Nod to the need for military units.
Scout patrol for sure. And probably another scout patrol, honestly, because this unique pod could have something nasty in it, like mindworms. Wait at least one turn. Just try and explore it until I have the scout patrol. Until this mine's done. Just 2 turns, nice. Yeah, and if Scout Patrol is destroyed, can have the other one get support from Planetary Trust. Might as well, since if it gets destroyed, I might be in danger of losing Planetary Trust, and I won't be building units here for a while. The secret project. So in this unit here, let's get support here. That slows that scout patrol because it's colony potted. It's taking forever and I need it. I want to get the Hydrology Council to push borders and get some military units produced on the board with the Spartans. It's back here. This is just a base that slowly grows and turns out scout patrols now and then. Plus, I shouldn't have an immediate need of the scout patrol. Waiting one more turn saves a turn of support, whereas the colony pod produces economic returns immediately. Whoa. Why is this trying to move? Just randomly. It's like a misclick. Whatever. Destroy enhancement.
Invalid command.
You can't use scout patrols to destroy fungus, I didn't think so. Alert. I think that wakes him if a mindworm becomes visible near him. So I have to be careful of accidentally telling them to go somewhere. Mouse can be a little sticky, I think. So what's going on there? these guys on alert too. And these guys just hang out, waiting, watching, waiting. What? Maybe I'll put that scout patrol to find these formers in a turn. It's a little more vulnerable. I think that would go for the base, probably go for the formers first. I need the scout patrol to heal first before then. World Food Program. It's definitely, World Food Program is a good idea, but I need to watch the border with the Spartans instead. Nice. Now this monolith, they can't reach without invading my borders, the Spartans. So let's look at how units that got upgraded. I'm going to do a base here. I'm pretty sure it'll do the same with this. Just a minor benefit of getting this done sooner.
Turn complete.
Nice. Made it there on the first try. Next turn I can swap the units. Integrity Noble might wanting. Oof.
Insufficient energy.
Wait a second. If I did a partial hurry, swap from this to one of these, better there. So there's no possibility of eco damage I expect. I could, or if I grab the monolith, another base, had no, that'd be dumb. Oh, 2-2. If I do that, partial, get the colony bed done 2 turns sooner, which means 2 nutrients from a base tile a turn sooner, which in the long run means it's nutrient neutral. Nutrients don't want them in little bases around bigger ones. Not mistaken. Okay, in headquarters.
Insufficient energy.
I think this will give 'em 4. Yep. Perfect. Like that. 1 turn a colony pod. After which you probably need. I should just keep doing colony pods for a little longer. Not much. Get Hydrology Council done very soon. And what else can I do for bases? Maybe I want to delay instead of Hydrology Council for this almost the same amount of turns. Let's think here that could work. This minerals bonus. Or here, yeah, for the monolith as well. Without being adjacent to fungus, which is always a security risk. UN Border Agency. Which captures that part of the point there is to deny the Spartans some land. At least make sure this stuff doesn't get pushed into their borders. Not sure I'll be able to get any of the Monson Jungle. Looks like they got a base here already. They're gonna probably build another one up here. Border Agency can work on monoliths, so it's actually a more productive base. Hydrology Council will probably be done by the civil rights colony pod. You know what? Hydrology Agency. Do I I want to call it World Food Program. That's actually a good name. It's base founded primarily to take advantage of nutrient resources. Also works some farm solar panels. Yeah, and also Hydrology Council and Agency. It sounds too similar. Rename the landmark. World Food Program. It's one of the default names, so I'll remove it from the list. But hydrology is science. And indeed, I'm probably going to be doing some tech here with all the river tiles and forests around that base. Eventually, do a network node there. Some point. Some point. This rocky and moist area, I'll probably put a sensor around since I can't do rocky mines for quite a while. That'll prevent me from tying up a more useful tile with a sensor array. It's just barely in range of both of the base locations I'm planning on doing. So they could both get defensive bonuses. Wouldn't want to do it here, which is the other place to be in range of both, because we're here because they're both rolling most tiles that I'll put farms on. Alright. Sensor A. Just make it clear. I've got that planned. Got a few of those around. Maybe more. Is this strictly optimal? This one I might want to replace with a solar panel at some point. Put a sensor on the rocky tile. It's a little more out of the way and more difficult to build because it takes more turns to move into, but yep. For now, that's fine. This would just let me see further out that way. I have one more name. U.N. Forest Agency. So probably put a few forests around a tile, base tile here. There's not good rainfall there, so I can't really get a lot of minerals, but forests just have a tiny base. Does a little production. Alright. Save. I know well enough what I'm doing next. I guess I will see you folks next turn. I could end the turn, but then, you know, maybe I'll have something I'll have to respond to, and I'm less sharp now than I could be. I wish you folks all the best. Take care of each other. Be kind to yourselves, and may you always find a guiding star to lead you home. Till next time. Let's resave one more time. This is Northstar. Adieu. And best luck to you all.
Please don't go. The drones need you.